greetings of the day and welcome you all in our course Green Energy Alternate Fuels. In this module, we are going to discuss about the biofuels and one of the important biofuel, that is bioethanol. So in the introduction, we discuss about the biofuels. So what these biofuels exactly? So biofuels are fossil fuel substitutes which can be made from a range of agricultural crops and other sources of biomass. Means for the synthesis of biofuels, we can use the agricultural crops, or instead of that we can use the biomass. So any hydrocarbon fuel that is produced from the organic matter, that is living or once living material. So in a short period of time, we can consider it as a days, weeks, or even months. It's considered as biofuel. So for instance, the European Union has a target to make the biofuels 10% of its energy share in the transport sector by 2020. Furthermore, by 2022, the US is expected to produce about 36 billion gallons of biofuels annually. So why this planning has been done by these countries? So the importance of these biofuels, that is in the energy security. So increasing oil prices and leads to the alternative source of energy, and this alternative source of energy is in the form of biofuels. And second, to decrease the greenhouse gas emission and to promote rural development. So these biofuels are considered as the liquid fuels that have been developed from other materials such as plants or animal waste matter. So here you can see the biofuel life cycle. So this biofuel life cycle, in this we have to use this feedstock. So either that is a plant animal feedstock or that is a biomass. Okay. So this feedstock is used for the generation of the biofuel in the biorefinery. So after the processing and conversion, it will be distributed and used for the vehicles. So that is the end user. So biofuel makes the environment clean by regulating carbon dioxide rates in the environment. Then it also maintaining the carbon cycle. And third one, that is making a way to produce global warming. So how it maintains the carbon cycle? So if you observe here, this is the end user, that means the vehicles. So when we are going to burn these fuels in the vehicle, it will emit the gases, for example CO2. Now this CO2 will be absorbed by the plant or vegetable matter, means it is a living organism. So it will be accepted by these plants for the photosynthesis. In that way, carbon cycle will be maintained. And third one, making a way to reduce global warming. So significance of these biofuels. Biofuels have the potential to be significantly less expensive than gasoline and other fossil fuels. Then these biofuels can be manufactured from wide range of materials, including crop waste, manure, and other byproducts. So this makes it an efficient step in the recycling process. So it can be manufactured from the wide range of materials. What it indicates, so we can use the vegetable matter, animal fat, waste material, manure, etc. Then biofuels are much more easily renewable as new crops are grown and waste material is collected. These manufacturing plants can employ hundreds or thousands of workers. So because of that, there will be the rural development. So it will create new jobs in the rural areas. And when these biofuels are burned, they produce significantly less carbon emission, making them a safer alternative fuel and lowers air pollution. Means if we compare the carbon emission by the burning of biofuel and the conventional fuels, so the biofuels significantly produce the less carbon emission. Let us see the carbon cycle of these biofuels. So for example, as we consider the corn, okay, so by using the corn there is a formation of this biofuel. So crops like the corn, you can consider other also, other vegetable oil matter. So this on processing means finely grounded and separated into their component sugars. Means we have to give the processing to this vegetable matter or this corn, and then it will be converted into the sugars. Now these sugars are distilled. Okay, we have to carry out the distillation process and it will give the ethanol. Okay, so from this corn, it is a starch rich material, it will convert into the sugar, that is glucose, sucrose. Then this converted into the ethanol and which can be used as an alternative fuel. So this ethanol is used in this vehicle. Now when we are using this ethanol in this vehicle, it will emit the CO2, but it is comparatively less than our conventional fuel. So this CO2 will be released into the atmosphere, but at the same time this can be reabsorbed by the original crops. So reabsorbed by the original crops means this CO2 will not remain in the environment. It again absorbed by these crops and thus it maintains the level of CO2 in the atmosphere. So that is the carbon cycle of biofuels. Now classification of these biofuels. Biofuels are classified into two types basically. First one, that is first generation biofuels, and another one that is second generation biofuels, or which is considered as advanced biofuels. Now first generation biofuels that are generally made from sugar, starch and vegetable oil, and that leads to the formation of bioalcohols, biodiesel and biogas. Whereas second generation biofuels, these are produced from the sustainable feedstock. So these are the advanced biofuels. So which are these advanced biofuels or second generation biofuels? So that is the cellulosic ethanol, then algae fuel which we consider as green diesel, biomethanol, biohydrogen diesel and wood diesel. So these are considered as the second generation biofuels. Let us discuss about the first generation biofuel, that is bioethanol. So the starch from the basic feedstocks is fermented into the bioethanol. So bioethanol is an alcohol made by fermentation mostly from carbohydrates produces in sugar or starch crops such as corn or sugarcane. So the main source for the synthesis or production of bioethanol is the starch containing crops as like the corn or sugarcane. So these are used to substitute petrol fuel for the road transport vehicles, and that's why this bioethanol is more convenient and environment friendly, having low toxicity level. So the India is the fourth largest producer of this bioethanol, and the government mandated the use of ethanol, that is 5% blending in the petrol. Means when we are going to use this ethanol along with the petrol, we have to use 5% ethanol in the petrol, and it is sold in 9 sugarcane producing states. Then Brazil stands first in terms of biofuel consumption. According to UNCTAD report Brazil uses pure ethanol in 20% of their vehicles and 22 to 26% ethanol petrol blend in the rest of their vehicles. The USA and Australia use a 10% ethanol blend. So in India, we are using only 5% ethanol blend in the petrol. Now let us see the bioethanol production. So how to synthesize bioethanol by using the biomass. So if we are using biomass for the generation of bioethanol, then this biomass first it is need to be treated. So pre-treatment is required to the biomass. After the pre-treatment, it converted into the pentose fermentation, or that is the glucose fermentation. In this biomass will be converted into the glucose and pentose either by the enzyme production or cellulose hydrolysis. Means by the cellulose hydrolysis directly it will converted into the glucose, and this glucose will converted into the ethanol. Okay, or this biomass after the pre-treatment directly can be converted into the pentose by the fermentation. So we have to use the enzymatic action and can be converted into glucose or pentose sugar. Now this glucose or pentose that will be finally converted into the ethanol. This ethanol, it may have some amount of water molecules, so we have to convert it into 100% pure ethanol, and that is considered as the power alcohol. So this ethanol can be used for the vehicles or also as a train. So for different vehicles we can use this as a blending material with the petrol. Then another way we can consider, that is first generation and second generation. So we have discussed first generation bioethanol production, or that is biofuel production, which is using the vegetable crops. So this corn which is rich in the starch, that by enzymatic process will be converted into the fermentable sugars, and by the fermentation process it will be converted into the ethanol. Whereas in the second generation process, which we discussed in the previous slide, so this waste biomass that on pre-treatment process converts into the cellulose, and then by the enzymatic process converted into the fermentable sugars, and that finally convert into the ethanol. So this can be used as a bioethanol for the various transportation applications. So what are important applications of this bioethanol? So this can be used as vehicular fuel to replace the gasoline. So instead of gasoline, or by blending along with the gasoline, we can use it as a vehicular fuel, and it plays important role in the transportation. Then this biofuel or bioethanol aimed at power generation by the thermal combustion. Then it can be used for fuel cells by thermochemical reactions. And this blending fuel with small amount of gasoline is more cost effective. Means instead of using complete bioethanol as a vehicular fuel, we can blend it with the gasoline, and that will be the cost effective. Then advantages of this bioethanol. So why it is significant? So its most important advantage or significance is it is a renewable energy resource. It is renewable energy resource and good alternative fuel in the transport. Then it is clean burning fuel undergoes complete combustion. So there will be complete combustion, and because of that it will leads to the clean burning fuel, and that reduces greenhouse gas emission. Then these fuel spills are more easily biodegraded. This bioethanol can be produced from the several plants which contain sugar and starch. So what is the requirement? Which plants or crops can be used for the production of bioethanol? So which are mainly rich in the sugar and starch. This bioethanol is having high octane number, which leads to increase of an engine's compression ratio for increased thermal efficiency. So what is the octane number? So for any type of fuel, to decide its efficiency, we have to consider its knocking character. And for petrol engine or petrol fuel, we have to consider the octane number, and for diesel engine or diesel fuel, we consider the cetane number. So the percentage of isooctane in the mixture of isooctane and N-heptane is to be considered. Okay, so percentage of isooctane, if it is more, then its octane number is more. So we have to compare the knocking tendency of this bioethanol with the standard series of the mixture of isooctane and N-heptane, and accordingly we can decide the octane number for this bioethanol. And generally these bioethanol are having high octane number, that means less knocking character. Now disadvantages of this bioethanol. So every point is having advantages as well as disadvantages, means we can consider it as a pros and cons. So for bioethanol, if we consider the efficiency, so it is not as efficient as petroleum, and actually that is the reason why we are using it as a blending material, not completely as a fuel. Means we are not going to run our vehicle completely on bioethanol. What we are doing, this bioethanol 5% is blended along with the petroleum, because bioethanol is not as efficient as petroleum. Then it may lead to the startup problem at low temperatures, particularly in the cold conditions. Means when the temperature is low, at that time it gives the trouble in the starting of that vehicle. Then huge land is required to cultivate crops, and natural habitats may get destroyed because of this. Due to the profitable rates of bioethanol, what happens? Some farmers may sacrifice food crops for biofuels. Means instead of using that food crops for eating purposes, okay, food material, they are using it for the biofuels. So it will increase food prices around the world. Then bioethanol production that releases considerable amount of carbon dioxide. So it will increase in the global warming. These are few references related to this. Thank you.